What's up, guys? Time to show off a Kraken build. This is a lot of different stuff going on with this one, and it ran until apparently about 6 in the morning this morning. I had it, I built it like 2 days ago, but kept perfect time 2 days ago, and then yesterday or last night until about 6 this morning. So this is one of those Krakens that it is flame bronzed, so very cool look to it. And straight on you can kind of see your colorway changes from the heat, and then once you kind of get into the light, you can see where that heat went through and bronzed it, and then added some purple in there from that extra hot heat. That is actually the correct word, hot heat. So that's this build. So I like to see him running a little bit, so I'm going to wind it up just a sec so it's going. So this is in a brushed case. I did one of those. I'm trying to think, what's the did Tudor do one of these? No, I don't think they did. I'm trying to think, this bezel, this bezel style, where I've seen it before. Just actually saw it just the other day, but just a different kind of bezel style. I thought it looked cool, so I threw it on there. I'd never done one of them in this style. They only fit this kind of larger style case. I had originally bought it for a different build which had a smaller case, and they would not even remotely fit, so it was hitting the the side of the crown tube up there. If that focuses in. It was a 38 millimeter instead of a 42, so it was hitting on that. But new silver paddle hands. Normally I've had paddle hands in the past. These are from a different producer. I just wanted to try them out, bought like 10 sets from them, and so far so good. Then custom painted seconds hand. I just didn't do any lume in it. I thought that was kind of cool to be able to see through it and see the different colorways in there. Kraken engraved crayon, if you see her on there. And then this is my second build this way, with a fully gilded movement. And I don't recall what the movement was. I think it was like a 2431.1. But these were made for a company. I got these out of Portugal. They had 35 of them on sale on eBay, so I bought them all. I've never seen them before, never seen them since, never seen them available through Vostok. So gilded rotor in there, or I'm sorry, gilded movement in there. I did a silver rotor in there with a silver movement holder and low profile exhibition case back, and then this has one of my custom suede Kraken straps, blue stitching, and then your branding right there. So that is the build, and that's actually loom right here on top, which is kind of cool, which I don't know how much it will loom, what kind of loom it is or anything like that, but that is actual loom in there, so that's kind of cool. So that's the build. If it's going to you, congrats. I won't be getting more of these movements. The only thing that was ever weird with this movement was the second-hand pinion. The spec on it is for the same style second hands, and everything's been fine with it, but they sit lower in the shaft than the other ones that I have. So I had to do a little bit of finagling with them because I didn't want them to be riding on that minute hand and get stuck. But they go down into the center of that even further, so it's kind of odd. So that's my only gripe about it. The pinions as a whole come up higher than my standard movement, which means my hour hand, even pushed all the way down as low as it can go, sits above the dial a decent amount, probably a millimeter, which is much higher than on my other builds. It's probably either sitting right on it or just right above. So this one's actually kind of sitting up there above, kind of like those ST3600 builds I've done, like 11 or so of. All of those are set up the same way. So it's weird to be the same movement but not be the same movement. Everything is like literally the same, but the tolerances are just a little bit different. The Pinions are a little bit longer. The second hand pinion's a little bit further down. And it's probably because those are taller. Is probably what it is, because I can't set these hands lower. So that pinion being taller must mean that that second hand pinion is that much further down inside, which is why those go in there. So epiphany there. But yeah, that's about the only difference, other than it being fully gilded, which is kind of cool. So that's the build. Bezel on this will turn left, it'll turn right. You won't really need to turn it unless, I guess, you're wanting to accent a reference point of when you need to go somewhere or do something. Unidirectional bezel on it. Automatic mechanical, so you can wind it, wear it, put it in a watch winder, but if it's dead or you're not going to be very active, make sure you wind it a little bit. And how you do that is you back the crown off the threads until you hear it and feel it clicking. At that point, you can wind. And a wind is a turn that way. Turning it towards you doesn't do anything, but it's a lot easier to keep your finger spacing and just go back and forth. Doing this for 4 or 5 seconds before you put it on, you'll keep time throughout the day, and if you do it for something closer to 20 hours, you're going to maximize the 31+ hour power reserve on it. You cannot overwind it, so don't worry about that. When you're happy with your winding, which I haven't done it for that long, so I'll wind it just a little bit longer. I'm doing like little half turns. You pull it to the one and only click. You can now set your time. It does not have a hacking movement, so it's going to keep going. Yeah, see how it sits down there lower? Catches a little bit when you go back, but then it's picks right back up. That direction doesn't seem to do anything, but kicking it backwards does. Okay, Google, what time is it?
It's 2:06 p.m.
2:06. Hey, I just got a message from somebody who just got their watch and I love it. It will pop up on me. 2:06 p.m. When you're good, push it over, get it out of that time setting, and screw it down. I'm going to have to hit a little bit of acetone on there. Get that marker off there. We mark it where top dead center is on a case that we have at the shop for engraving. But fun fact, not every crown tube on every watch was installed the same way. So unless I send the case with it, marking top dead center is top dead center for the case at the shop, they could have put that crown tube into this one differently. So it doesn't always align it to be straight up and down. So I'll make sure he knows that. Otherwise I just have little marks on these things I got to get removed. But that's the build. As with every boat, it's going to come with matching beads, entirely up to you whether you wear those or not. But they are stylish and come with it. This is also going to come in a Kraken box. This will come with watch cleaner. I no longer have them with my logo on them due to a supply issue, so you're going to get a 2 ounce. This is good on all glass and metal, so everything there in the center. You also get some fine scratch remover. This is good for your acrylic glass because you can scratch it, but if you do, put a tiny bit of this on it and buff it out using your included microfiber. Go against the scratch, not with the scratch, and just do semicircles and massage it in. And 20 seconds later, you should have it polished out. And then lastly, some leather conditioner. This is good to keep this suede perfectly soft. Apply it on front and back. This is leather here, suede here. Let it soak in on both sides. Remove any excess. A little bit will go a long way, so this should last you a very long time. And that's your build. So if you picked this or bought it directly, thank you so much for your support, and I hope you love it. And if you want to continue to see videos like this, like and subscribe, as I put them up all the time. Thanks, guys.